Of course money is important. Of course it's important. Money's like oxygen, right? You need it to live, right? You don't need all the oxygen, but you need some oxygen to live. You need some money, right? So think about this. Most people, they go to work not necessarily because they love their job, unfortunately. They go to make money. They need it for the money's linked to their survival. They need it to live, right? And they spend their entire adulthood working for money, right? And they never bother to learn about money or understand money. So think about that. People people dedicate their whole life to earning money and never bother to learn about money or how it works. So imagine that, dedicating your life to something that you don't understand. Dedicating your life to something that you don't understand, right? And it's a trap that a lot of people fall into, right? You have hardworking the hardworking middle class, right? That can't even retire with financial dignity, right? They can't do that, unfortunately, because money's not taught in schools. Why isn't it taught in schools? Like, there's a lot of money trauma that people have and assumptions, right? People think that if you're broke, you're like a saint, or if you have money, if you're rich, that you must be the devil, right? These are the kind of this is the mindset that people get baptized with, right? Like money is the root of all evil, all that jazz, all those things that people just inherently accept as it being true, and it becomes a part of their identity. It becomes a part of their identity without actually questioning it, right? They don't teach money in schools, and this is not by coincidence, okay? This is by design. It's not a coincidence that they don't teach this, right? Think about this. You're going to spend 40, maybe 50 years of your life working, right? And if you are working throughout those 40, 50 years, every single year, you're expected to pay taxes, right? Every year you pay taxes. Taxes, 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 right? Why don't they teach you the tax code in school? If you're going to spend decades paying taxes, why isn't this being taught in school? There's no tax code course, right? They don't teach you this, right? It's by design. When was the last time you heard a politician promote financial education or tell you how to get out of debt, right? You don't hear that. You don't hear politicians advocating or promoting financial education. In fact, they take it away from education. You have to go out and find it yourself. You have to make an effort to financially educate yourself outside of the school system, right? Because it's not going to be given to you. It's just not, right? They're not going to teach you about real estate. They're not going to teach you about the stock market, right? These are things that everybody should know about. They're not going to teach you about interest rates, loans, none of that. They just don't teach you this. You have to go out and find it for yourself, right? Nobody taught me about finances either, right? My father, both my parents, they have very humble roots. It's humility. My parents grew up in survival mode, just trying to get by, right? Minimum wage. They were never given that opportunity to learn about education. They're immigrants, right? They had to get by in a different world, in a different era. So I never saw my dad invest in the market. I never saw my dad, talking about interest rates or none of that. If your parents didn't teach you this, you're starting from a deficit, right? Other more privileged people, they do get financial education. It gets passed on from their parents, or their great grandparents, whatever the case may be. But most people don't get this financial education that's necessary to navigate your way through life, right? It's not taught in schools. What they teach you is they teach you about history, they teach you about English, right? They teach you the English language, but not money, right? They teach you about, French language, Spanish, whatever, all these languages, but not money.